This video is brought to you by SoccerPro.com, bringing you all the latest soccer gear at everyday low prices with no membership fees. Don't forget to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you a comparison video between both upper variations of the brand new Nike Mercurial Vapor 9. This is the first time ever that Nike will be making their Vapor line available in two different upper variations, and I do have that as confirmed information. We're not going to see the faux leather finish only on the metallic platinum colorway. You will be seeing future Vapor 9s with this same finish, and you'll also be seeing future Vapor 9s with this finish right here, which is the speed control golf ball like dimpling. So just keep that in mind. This is a comparison video that you can kind of count on for the rest of the lifespan of the Vapor 9. So, because the Vapor has been now made available in two different upper variations, it's caused quite a bit of confusion and people are conflicted as to which one that they actually want to buy, because the Vapor is a very, very popular line of shoes, and obviously you want to make the best decision possible when buying a brand new pair. As far as comparing these two models, I'm hopefully going to make that decision a little bit easier for you in this video. I'm going to talk about them a little bit, explain the major differences. We'll do a side-by-side weigh-in as well as an on-feet, kind of compare how the both of them fit. And then we'll do a final thoughts and I'll let you know my favorite model of the two, because I know you guys always like to hear which one I like best. As far as the full reviews for these shoes, just before I get this video started, I wanted to let you guys know that the full reviews have already been posted on my website, SoccerReviewsForYou.com. So if you do want the most in-depth, comprehensive reviews for either of these two models, you can find links down below in the description to both review pages. As far as both of these models, there are two upper variations, like I said, and a lot of people want to know automatically which one is better than the other. And I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. I wouldn't even say that they're very different from each other, but they do offer a slightly different feel, which, like I said, can sway how you choose between one or the other. A lot of people are equating this upper variation to the Adizero line, which obviously a lot of you guys are probably familiar with that. The Adizero is available in both leather and synthetic uppers, and both of those shoes have significantly different feels and fits when you compare the two. But something like this, where you have the speed control finish and the smooth faux leather finish, it's still virtually the same shoe. There's a little bit of a difference in the finish, and that's really it. It's not going to actually change the feel of the shoe in such a way that you're not going to like one over the other. You're going to like both of these two shoes. It's just a matter of picking one that you're going to like more than the other one, but just a little bit. So I don't want to say that one is significantly heads and tails better than the other, because that's definitely not the case here. You might like one more than the other, but that doesn't mean that the other one is crap in comparison. As far as the speed control version, this is the latest and greatest for the Vapor 9. This is the one that got most people excited. I feel like everybody who's bought a Vapor 9 at this point, most of them have gone for the speed control version of the boot. And that's because it is definitely the most exciting. As you guys can see, the speed control technology is this golf ball like dimpling on the upper itself. It is a full Tasian synthetic upper like we've come to know and love on the Vapor series. A little bit thicker than what we saw on the Vapor 8. But a little bit softer as well. It has like a slight bit of natural cushioning about it, which I'm personally a really big fan of. And when you combine that with the golf ball like dimpling on the upper, it does add a little bit of thickness to the shoe. But for the most part, this is still a very, very thin, very soft synthetic upper. As far as the speed control texturing and how it actually works, it works on the idea of friction, meaning that softer touches on the ball are going to provide less grip, and firmer or harder touches on the ball are going to provide more grip. If you think about kind of surface area and friction, because these golf ball dimplings have kind of like these little kind of divots in there, when you're making softer touches like dribbling, you're getting only half the surface area of the upper. And when you combine that with this kind of slightly grippy finish they have on there, you're going to get a little bit less grip on the ball, and it's going to slide more nicely against your foot. And then when you're making harder touches on the ball, like striking or shooting, for example, that dimpling is going to kind of compress into the upper, and you're going to get the full surface area of the upper as it's kind of flattened out. And that's going to provide a little bit more grip on the ball. Now, is the difference in grip going to be really significant? Not really, but it is noticeable, and it does change the feel of the shoe. And that's why this is definitely one of the most unique Vapors that we've ever seen. This is why I would call the speed control version of the Vapor a grippier, slightly enhanced version of your traditional Vapor. Does that mean it's better than a traditional Vapor? No, it just means that it's a little bit different. You might like it more if you prefer to have a little bit more grip on your shoe. The think of it as like a very kind of small striking or grip element on the shoe itself, but it doesn't actually change the overall feel of the shoe all that much. As far as the smooth kind of faux leather finish version, this is one that drew a lot of comparisons to the Vapor 8, not only because it looks very similar, it had the same finish that we saw on the Vapor 8, but it also had the exact same sole plate, which I'll get to a little bit later. As far as the synthetic on this shoe, just note that it does have the exact same Nutation synthetic as the speed control version of the Vapor 9, so it is a little bit thicker than what you're going to get on the Vapor 8, and definitely an improvement in my eyes anyways. Has a little bit of that nice natural cushioning about it, which I'm personally a really big fan of. The reason why they've gone for like this faux leather finish, as you guys can see there, it's not to say that this is a leather upper, because it's not. It's full synthetic. It's just there to mimic that touch, that smoothness of touch, or the friction that you're going to get from a natural leather soccer shoe, which I'm sure most of you guys have worn. It provides that little bit of grip on the ball, but not very much, and for the most part it slides freely against your foot, which is what I really like about this shoe. The faux leather finish version of the Vapor 9 I would equate to a more traditional, more classic feeling Vapor. So if you really like the Vapor 8 and you want kind of a more refined, slightly tweaked version of that, then you're going to love the faux leather finish of the Vapor 9. It provides a slightly closer touch on the ball than what you're going to get from the speed control model, but for the most part they're still very, very thin shoes. This one provides a little bit less grip, this one provides a little bit more grip, and that's what the major difference is as far as comparing the two. If we move on to the sole plates, there is a little bit of a difference there as well. The faux leather finish version, as you guys can see, features the exact same sole plate that you're going to find on the Vapor 8, where you have 2 layers of glass fiber through the midfoot and heel, and only 1 single layer in the forefoot, whereas the Sunset colorway and Fireberry colorway that feature that speed control dimpling feature 2 layers of glass fiber all the way through. That's kind of like a new feature there. Everybody looked at that as new, but to me it really doesn't change the overall feel of the shoe at all, whether you have 1 or 2 layers. So it's not something that I would really consider when you're picking between the two models. As far as the fit, feel, and comfort of both of these two shoes, the fit, the shape, the comfort level is exactly the same between both models, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. The one thing that you have to look at here is how the uppers are, the finish, and if you prefer having more grip or less grip. One last thing to touch on is that both of these uppers do feature ACC all conditions control, basically like a wet control element. And again, it performs pretty much exactly the same on both of these two models, adding a little bit better friction on the ball when playing in wet weather. But other than that, again, it doesn't really impact the overall feel of the shoe all that much. But that's pretty much it as far as the major differences between the two. And I'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you can see what the difference is in terms of weight. The Vapor series is all about being lightweight, and you're going to get that lightweight feel from both upper variations on the MV9. Just for the sake of comparison, we're going to weigh in both versions, both the speed control and faux leather finish model. Keep in mind that both pairs I have here are size 9 US, and they are both used. So I'm going to throw the speed control version on the scale here. The difference in weight that you can feel is nothing. They feel exactly the same in hand and on feet. So on the scale, you can see that the speed control version weighs in at 6.85 ounces. Very, very lightweight. Going to take that off, and we're going to throw the faux leather finish. Remember, 6.85 ounces. And we're going to throw this one on there. And this one weighs in at 6.75 ounces. So you can see that there is a 0.1 ounce difference in weight between the two models. That could be for 2 reasons. One could be the speed control finish on the upper, and the second reason could be the extra layer of glass fiber that you're going to find on this model in compared to the faux leather finish version. Just for kind of an example, 0.1 ounces, a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, oh my gosh, that's lighter. 0.1 ounces is pretty much what I would call an insignificant amount of weight. Just as an example, I grabbed this little piece of paper here. This is a Kangalite tag that came with, I believe, a pair of Laser 4s. I'm going to throw this on the scale so you can see exactly what it weighs. Keep in mind, this is a piece of paper. It doesn't weigh anything. I'm going to throw that on there, and it weighs in 0.1 ounces. So that's the difference in weight between both of these two models. Is that amount of weight that you should worry about? Absolutely not. Think about 5 of these, and that's 0.5 ounces, and that's what a lot of people consider to be a major difference in weight. If you're worried about a piece of paper or a couple pieces of paper in terms of weight on your feet, that's not something you should worry about. The difference in weight between the two is pretty much nothing, and it really shouldn't be taken into consideration when picking between either of these two models. That's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion goes, and we'll move into a quick on feet so you can get an idea of the fit. Alright, here's a look at both upper variations of the MV9 on feet. And like I said earlier, there's pretty much no difference in the fit, the shape, the sizing, and the overall feel of the shoe on foot. Doesn't matter which upper variation you go for. The synthetic feels the same, it has the same amount of flexibility, and like I said, the shoe feels pretty much exactly the same on your feet. As far as the fit of the shoe itself goes, if you don't know about the MV9, it definitely has a more narrow cut to it. It's a very, very tight fitting shoe, but a very good fitting shoe as well, especially if you're looking for that close to the foot contained feel. Because of the very tight cut, it definitely has a more narrow cut to it, so it's not made for wide-footed players. I have about an average width foot, and you can see I'm pretty much at the maximum of what this shoe can handle. So if you do have wider feet, the Mercurial series in general is just not the best choice for you. As far as sizing goes, they definitely do fit true to size. I'm wearing my usual size 9 US in both colorways, both upper variations I should say, and I need a size 9 in both, and it fits absolutely perfect. So if you are looking for your the best size possible anyways, or the best fitting size, definitely go for your regular size for the best fit. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion goes, and I'll move on to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my comparison video between both upper variations of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9. I know the question everybody wants answered, which one is my favorite? And I've said this before on my channel, I'm not a huge fan of shoes that provide too much grip. So for that reason and that reason alone, I prefer the feel of the faux leather finish version, which in this case is the metallic platinum colorway. Does that mean that I don't like this model? Absolutely not. I would be very, very happy in either upper variation of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9. Like I said, it's not going to make or break your experience with the shoe, but because they do give you that option, obviously you want to pick the one that you're going to like the best. So if I had to pick one that I like better than the other, it definitely is the more traditional faux leather finish model. Like I said earlier, if you do want to check out the full reviews for either of these two upper variations, I do have those already posted on my website, soccerreviewsforyou.com. You can find direct links posted down below in the description. If you do have any questions regarding these particular shoes, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you guys could leave a like on the video as well, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed to the channel already and you did enjoy today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear, such as unboxing, on-feet videos, comparisons, reviews, free kicks, traction tests. Going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff on this channel over the next couple of months. So like I said, if you enjoyed today's video and you're all into soccer equipment, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Any questions not related to the video, go ahead and ask those on the SR4U Facebook fan page. Again, link in the description. And if you do want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram name is VujoJosh. Just like this channel name, you can go ahead and look me up. Or again, the link can be found down below in the description. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.